Can you hear me clearly? Awesome. So I'm gonna start. So thank you very much to the organizer to invite me today to present Spatial Port among this amazing lineup of companies. I'll introduce myself briefly. I'm Alex Bellesia, the CEO of Spatial Port. I started working in the AR and VR field more or less 7 years ago for an AR and VR studio, which were creating solutions for multinational companies within the field of immersive technologies. And after the pandemic, both I and my co-founder, Scott Fackard, we decided to build Spatial Port. Spatial Port has the mission to democratize the creation of 3D immersive spaces. Why? Basically, because we saw a huge pain point while working with multinational companies and also mid-size companies, the cost to create 3D immersive spaces. That's why we decided to start Spatial Port. Spatial Port is based in Silicon Valley, and we are here to basically innovate how people will shop in the metaverse. So one thing that we are trying to accomplish is, let's say, a tool for brands and creators of any size to sell phygital products and collectibles within a 3D immersive environment. But before we dive into that, I'd love to talk a little bit more about how we are right now shopping online. As you can see, here we have two websites of two famous brands, Dolce & Gabbana and Prada, and you can't really tell what's their difference in their websites. They're pretty boring, I would say, at first glance, and you can't really interact with products. So at Spatial Port, we believe it's arrived the time to innovate how people shop online, because there are out there a lot of technologies that can enrich the final user experience for shoppers. So let's take a quick look at how at what are these technologies that can enrich the user experience. So first of all, augmented reality. I guess many of you know augmented reality, but basically it's a technology that superimposes objects around us, and augmented reality for shopping can enrich the user experience because people can try on themselves clothing pieces or eventually place objects within their homes. For example, they can try furniture. So why not leveraging this within the e-commerce platform that we are using every day? Another technology is 3D and VR. It has been out there for a lot of time, but we believe has not been used enough to gamify the experience and make it more look like how we do it today and go even beyond that. Another technology is AI, is already used in e-commerce websites, although within 3D immersive experience, we can build environments that shape based on the profile of the user that is visiting a space. So a really customized experience. Last but not least, a blockchain. Blockchain can be used for a lot of things, among them to track products, to prove the authenticity of products. And last but not least, we all know NFTs, for example, and these are going to become a product of the future that will be exchanged enormously. So let's take a look at how we feel it's going to be the future of e-commerce. So this is a template store that we built. As you can see, you have both images, videos, and 3D products. So it's not like the other websites where you just have flat images, but you can actually go inside and discover new products by yourself. These products are interactive because basically are in 3D, so you can interact with them through your smartphone. As you can see here in our platform, you have the button to activate the augmented reality feature because you can actually wear the products. So here are some examples of people all around the world that used our filter and our NFT, our wearable NFT, because the watch that you just saw is a wearable NFT, and tested that on themselves. So it was very fun and engaging. A lot of people loved it. How actually it works. So how can a brand build their own 3D store? So basically, we help brands in the customization of their environment by selecting the design, the materials, the videos, and the images to have a good look and feel of their environment, to let the personality of the brand to speak, because it's much more immersive than a 2D flat page of a website. Second step, we need to create a list of products that these brands want to sell in the metaverse. We can either connect with the API of the CMS of the e-commerce website, or start from a brand new list with the list of media, the name and the description of every product that will be appearing in the 3D space. Then we need to create the 3D files of the products if the brand doesn't have that, and we can help and support brand in doing that. And we are ready to go to sell in the metaverse. I am gonna end this presentation with a short gameplay of the environment that we are currently building and populating. So I will show you only our store for confidentiality reasons, but all the stores that you see in gray right now are for rent, while the others are already populated. So we're building this city where everybody will be able to enjoy an immersive e-commerce experience. The platform is going to be available for any device, so PC, smartphone, tablets, and also head-mounted displays. There will be both art exhibitions and products to be bought. So there will be NFTs, digital products, and real products sold in the environment.
Alex, it looks like there's a couple of questions.
Yes. So I can stop here the gameplay just a sec, because I basically finished. So thank you very much, guys, for the attention. If you have any questions, please go ahead. So are they in the chat? Let me see. Okay.
There's one.
Yes. Okay.
It's about the SDKs.
Do you want me to help?
Okay.
Out?
Yes, no, I just read the question. So will Spatial Port have SDKs to implement this functionality? If so, will be Unity, Unreal, or Web? So what we'll be developing is an interface. So what the final user and the brand can interact with is an interface that is going to work on the web. While the end user, so the purchaser, will need to install our app to access to these 3D environments. Another question is, how does checkout, payments and delivery address done for physical products being sold? How do you track order for customers in phone app delivered by third-party logistics? So how we are going to collaborate is through APIs. So every brand that will sell products in our platform already have a CMS that manages the delivery of their products. So we are going, we can implement basically the APIs to have a seamless experience where when you receive an order from the 3D platform, it goes directly to the CMS that a brand is currently using. Content management system. So CMS is a content management system like Magento, Shopify, and many others that are used to sell products on the web. So as per the SDK, how we're supporting brand to join the metaverse is basically through a configurator that works online. So you don't need an SDK to do that. But we'll need your APIs to connect to your CMS in order to have a flawless experience for the end user. Spatial Port is not open yet. We are launching in 2 months. In fact, this is a great question. So we're launching in 2 months, where we'll be presenting both retail products and fine art NFTs. There will be, yes, the possibility for the final user to pay both in crypto and through credit card. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. I am ready. Whenever you say go, I will start.
I think you can go.
Can I start, Lee, or should I wait? Okay, so thanks, everybody. Thanks for having invited me and my company. I am Emanuele Zinna. I am the head of marketing of Shin Software. We started working in the 3D real-time ecosystem since 2011, even if our company depends its root in the video game industry. So I would like to share with you my experience of the past 3 years and how the ecosystem of Metaverse 3D real-time is evolving. So let's start. Well, 2020 represented a year that radically changed our lives, everybody all over the world. Out of the blue, in few weeks, companies and managers have simply lost their traditional market tool and certainties. In few weeks, many worldwide well-known events, trade exhibitions had been firstly postponed and suppressed, and national lockdowns, content forbidden, isolation, social distancing, all this one were just an example about what we had to face out of the blue. Well, during 2020, most of our daily tasks switched from physical to digital, with the result that companies and managers had to identify new ways to present products and to engage a customer audience who literally felt abandoned and frustrated by the absence of any satisfying customer experience. So a first relevant changing phase has started. I noticed it because before the pandemic issues, when I had the opportunity to make speech about real-time 3D interactive and the benefits of this kind of technology, a huge number of companies consider my work something close to video games, science fiction, nice to have, but maybe in the future option. So basically the answer was no thanks. But I can assure you that this perception has radically changed in the past year. Nowadays, in fact, thanks also to the positive effect of well-knowing big market player actions such as Meta, Nvidia, Unreal, Epic, companies do not like at real-time 3D as mumbo jumbo anymore. They know that real-time 3D interacting can provide them solid tools for an effective remote audience engagement. It has become a must-have tool, so the attitude has changed from the previous no thanks to yes, please, tell me more. I personally consider real-time 3D interactive as a fluid. It's a kind of clay that has to be shaped accordingly to companies' need and strategy, and the digital twins are the substance of this clay. So what exactly a digital twin? What is the definition of digital twin? It is a digital replica of a living or non-living object. It's not just a mere reproduction. It's a clone that looks, acts, and reacts as the original one. Or in case of virtual prototyping or in product configurators, where the digital twin is then, it is an outcome of a process as it would look, act, and react. But how can we create a digital twin for Metaverse? Because we are talking about Metaverse now. Well, since we're talking about real-time 3D interactive technology, the 3D files are the bedrock on which build the digital twin construction process. It's clear then that some companies, for example, many of those in the manufacturing industry, already have their tool in the 3D files as an output of product design software. In this case, to the geometry of the shape, we have to add the virtual material, which is made by stratified layer of information for a perfect photorealistic quality and a true look and feel perception. And then a rule-based engine will manage, check, and process every interaction, behavior, and configuration with data-driven approach. But unfortunately, as Alex has already said, other companies do not have a 3D file as a starting point of a product lifecycle due to many reasons: traditional or manual prototyping, lack of 3D skills, competencies, or simply opposition to digital innovation. In this case, we have to adopt a reverse engineering approach, and starting from a physical, we have to achieve the digital. At first, we have to digitize the geometries and material, and then we will combine them exploiting the data-driven rule-based engine to generate a fulfilling digital experience. In both cases, the native or the reverse engineering approach, the aim is to fill a digital model library app that will open the Metaverse's gate. And that's why we created Show in 3D, a content management and application building platform for Metaverse, able to replicate any product, process, or environment without editing a single line of code and transform a cold 3D CAD file into an expressive, engaging, and emotional real-time application that can be used in any Metaverse platform, or, as we'll see in just a few seconds, a company can generate its own Metaverse area. So the process is really easy. The user can import the 3D files and upload data from several different sources, such as text files, images, values from price lists, SIP, can import, generate, and display PDFs, videos, and images as well, and can also acquire configuration and rules for a single, simple spreadsheet. So then all the information are going to be edited and processed by the platform, on the platform by the user, with a video authoring tool, with a what you see is what you get approach. So no code. It's totally codeless. You don't have to be a ninja coder to create a real-time 3D application. Then, once we have this digital twin repository available, we are ready to deploy the contents in a metaverse, clustering the experience according to the company strategy, digital product showing, tools for marketing and sales as product configurator, virtual try-on, try before buy experiences, application for training, education, and even post-sales assistance. So what is clear and certain are the 4 pillars that make Show in 3D a cutting-edge tool. It's scalable because after having created a 3D interactive application, the experience can be extended to the entire product collection, from a single product to a digital warehouse. It's multiverse, in the meaning that a real-time 3D application can be exported in a metaverse, or as I said, a company can generate its own metaverse. It's cross-platform. The same experience is seamlessly available for iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, but also WebGL, immersive virtual reality, augmented reality, still without editing a specific version of the application. And of course, is 100% data-driven. The platform can autonomously manage very, very complex configuration rules using multiple variables and different sources. So in Shin software, we know that a picture worth 1,000 words, but we used to say that an experience is worth 1,000 pictures as well. I'm going to change the, I'm going to share a live demo here. I hope that you're able to see it. In this case, it's quite easy, right? It's a watch, very nice watch, luxury watch, I mean, but the interesting fact is the aspect that we have connected to a static 3D model, static in the meaning that it's a closed, it's a cold 3D CAD file. We have connected an interactive, an external source of information. In this case, the watch, as you can see over here, is still working. It's working because it's showing the client's time zone. So in this case, I am in Italy, in Central Europe time. So as you can see over here, the watch is working. Of course, I'm able to switch from different product configuration. I can get close to appreciate the details because the photorealistic quality of material is close to be mandatory in fashion, jewelry, interior designer, home furniture. And then I can play over here, but I may be able to generate an automatic video, but in real time, because as you can see over here, my hands are over and the watch is still working while the system is creating this video. And this very powerful tool, even for batch render video creation. As you can see, there are a lot of camera movements, a sequence of camera movements to appreciate the quality of the product. And then, of course, I am able to place this product in augmented reality, or in case of a large environment or a digital store as the one that I'm going to share with you right now, I may be able to use the virtual reality, the immersive virtual reality. In this case, I hope so that, yes. As you can see over here, we have an environment with some shelves over here. There are some shoes. There are, of course, I'm able to navigate from an area to another one. But in this shelf, I'm able to click on the product and appreciate the quality of this product. And then, of course, I can add other information such as prices, an action, a call to action, put in a basket, purchase it, or create animation to see and customize the product, or I can navigate through pre-customized products as well. So in this case, there are different kind of products. But if I go closer over here, you can really appreciate the quality, the details of the leather, and so on. While, of course, I can go back and I can move across my store in a virtual reality. So in order to avoid motion sickness with virtual reality, we strongly recommend the teleport function. And so clicking over here, I'm in another side of the store department. I can click on the model, and over here, I'm able to appreciate, rotate, interact with another kind of product as well. But the customization, then I know that my time is going to be end. Last thing I would like to share with you is a further step of customization. In these things, in this environment, which is a more complex showroom, I'm able to move in the space. I can appreciate a different point of view, but if I want, I can use automatic camera movement to restore the view, for example. I can interact with the product. I can call for different products as well. And everything has been done codeless. And I may be able also to change and interact with the light setting to maybe create a spatial effect and a more engaging, for example, an unveiling product experience. So basically, this is show in 3D. Yeah, sure. Just a second that I'm sharing my experience on two different screens. Yeah. Oh, yes, it's here. Where is the chat? Oh, sorry. I'm struggling with the
Let me help you.
Oh yeah, here. Sorry. Yeah. I had to stop the screen sharing. Otherwise, I'm not able to see. Sorry, the question. Yeah, here they are. Okay, the minimum requirement from the users. Well, there's not a minimum requirement from the users because the system automatically creates the subset in order to spread the same experience accordingly to the computational power of the client. I'm pressing demo. Respect, Derek. Thanks a lot. Should we have a video record catalog product? Of course you can. Yes. Please drop me a line via email. I'd be more than glad to give you a lot of video example, and then we can also go in depth with any kind of technical questions. Take a demo, of course. Yeah. So thanks for your time. I got muted. By the end of the day, we are here to exploit any kind of opportunities that this special moment is offering to our companies together. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me, Alex? Okay, excellent. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. This is Praveen, and I'm the founder of a company called Exxar. Exxar as a company, we are primarily into the virtual and augmented reality space, and now working towards building the industrial metaverse. This talk, I'm not going to try and define what the metaverse should be or what the industrial metaverse should be. I think the key purpose of my talk here is to talk about the evolutions that have happened over the last few years, and share my experiences of working with various industrial sector users and companies where we have brought about innovations for their different processes. And what I do believe that many of those concepts would help us build in the future whatever the industrial metaverse is going to be, right? But I think a lot of the concepts that we are working on are extremely close to the approach of building a metaverse. Of course, we are about 2.5 years old, based in the Silicon Valley. We are partners with Microsoft, Oculus, Plug and Play Japan, and a couple of other organizations. And we primarily work in the industrial space as a company. So before I dive into the metaverse specific points here, my approach is again from an engineering perspective. What are the key challenges that the industrial sector faces, and how can we help them, right? And this is what I've been doing all my career as part of Exxar and my previous business. What are the industrial challenges that we are looking at? So when we look at a factory or industrial enterprise, there is a typical life cycle that the industry follows, where you start with engineering. You want to set up a factory, you bring in design teams, engineering teams who are going to design the factory, and subsequently you're going to hand over the design to a construction team or the project team, which is going to go and do the construction of the factory. Subsequently, the factory is handed over to operations teams, where the workers and supervisors will come in to execute and operate the factory. And finally, if required, there are maintenance teams who are involved, for upkeep of the plant. Now, when we look at the engineering teams, typically they have some crazy challenges around customer collaboration, right? Most of the engineering teams, they are doing the complete design and modeling in 3D using CAD and BIM software. Slightly different from what Emanuele referred to, but these are typically industrial tools which are very popular in the sector. But there is no very good way for designers to collaborate with customers or even with construction team members on validating their designs, right? When we look at the construction, everything downstream after engineering is typically either non-digital or 2D at the maximum. Construction members typically will have a paper drawing, which already throws away a lot of the information that was created by the engineering team. And this leads to a lot of challenges on the site, like clashes, and finally into rework that delays a lot of construction projects. Of course, finally, when you look at operations, and this is something that's been talked about a lot in the media, is the need for training to have skilled factory workers and technical support for these workers, from domain experts. When I talk about maintenance, this is where there is a factory which is already in operation but had a breakdown. There's a huge cost of downtime of factories, and typically the documentation available to maintenance engineers can be either complex or non-existent in many cases. So when we look at these challenges, and how to address them to give a uniform environment, what we feel is that there has been a lack of a common information environment throughout the industrial enterprise. And this is the problem that we started addressing a few years back. And this was the motivation behind building Exxar as a technology. So towards the rest of my presentation, I'm going to talk about some of the blocks that we have built, which we believe can be a very core fundamental part of the industrial metaverse, right? So when we look at these challenges, what exactly does it mean from a technology standpoint, right? So what really required to solve some of these problems that we are looking at? So of course we have physical assets, just like Emanuele and Alex referred to. And so the first effort is almost always to digitize them, right? And have potentially be able to store them on a cloud platform or some other storage platform. But when we talk about a factory environment, which is a living, breathing environment, right? There is need for synchronization between what's happening in the field. And this is where typically industrial IoT comes to help. And you make a digital replica, which Emanuele, of course, talked about as a digital twin of the physical environment. But when we look at digital twin, of course, there's a lot of other potential elements. There could be AI that makes it an even more intelligent model, and potentially other specific aspects. So now that you have a digital representation of your enterprise, of your industry, right? This is when you can start solving very, very interesting problems that we saw previously. So for example, a designer could simply hop on, put on a VR headset, right? Pull the digital version of the model that he has designed in virtual reality. But not just that, he could also pull in the construction supervisor to help him understand exactly what the model is going to be like and what the final factory is supposed to be like, right? And address his challenges. Also, a project manager could jump into the call, again, just using VR headsets, be able to literally walk inside the factory even before it's built, right? So that's a very, very interesting use case of what we would call the industrial metaverse. And this is something that we set out to solve, and it's already part of our platform. Now, once you have this platform and you have this beautiful digital environment, the same exact content and environment can then be brought over to the field teams, right? And so we have partners who are building what are called connected worker applications, where the construction supervisor can simply take an iPad or a HoloLens, right, and have the complete 3D model available on the construction site. Imagine creating a plant, a complex plant like that with a piece of 2D drawing, right, which is what people have been doing over the ages, right? But then the transformation that happens when they are able to do this, get access to the complete information on their fingertips on a device like an iPad, is a complete game changer. And then the same exact content is then also available for maintenance engineers, who can then use a HoloLens or again an iPad or a device like that to get their complete work instructions overlaid on top of the factory floor, right? So that they can do the maintenance activity in a much faster manner without any errors. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when we look at the industrial metaverse or the industrial environment that we're talking about building here, the same environment can be used for different kinds of use cases. And this is where the whole thought around building an industrial metaverse around that starts, right? So at Exxar, we believe that what we need to do is we start building everything in a piece-by-piece manner. So over the last few years, we have already built quite a few models, quite a few modules in this technology. This is actually a product that's already in the market. It's already been in the market for the last 2 years, deployed at various industrial sites and industrial users. And the product and the platform has been evolving over the last couple of years based on additional user feedback, as well as developer feedback, because we allow developers to use our platform to build custom applications. And I'm going to talk about that in the subsequent part of my talk. on the face of it, of course, it seems like a very, very amazing concept. But then what are the technology barriers that prevent something like this from happening? So one of the things clearly is that the technology stack is extremely siloed. Whether you look at the 3D content that's available from CAD or BIM models, or you look at the IIoT infrastructures, a lot of the technology stacks are very siloed, and there aren't very many standard tools and workflows. Secondly, digitization is extremely costly. A lot of 3D scanning for factory environments, which could be spanning hundreds and thousands of or even millions of square feet, right? Digitization can be really costly and time consuming. But when you look at engineering models, right, like BIM models or CAD models for the factories that were used during engineering, almost all of the data formats are logged in proprietary formats. Converting them to sort of open standards is something that has not been a solved problem over the past. Of course, finally, data security is an extremely critical area when you talk about industrial applications. Some of the models and some of the data can be extremely large. So the technology and the platform has to be able to address things of that sort. So these are the key technology barriers that we looked at when building our platform. And the first thing that we thought was that, how do we bring in a virtual model? How do we build these virtual environments from existing content? So instead of having to go to the field, scan 3D models and convert them into sort of these interactive models, how about enabling existing content? And we realized that there is a substantial number of industrial enterprises who already had data in formats which are in CAD formats or in BIM models, right? So one of the core pieces of intellectual property that we built was around translating these models automatically without any data loss into a cloud-enabled standard format that can then be brought into a augmented reality or virtual reality environment. So this is what we call XR Stream, which is a completely automatic and a completely lossless data translator that connects to CAD applications, BIM applications, and brings that content into a VR AR environment. So that brings me to the other building blocks that we have as part of the XR stack. Of course, the whole environment of being able to bring in lossless 3D models directly into this cloud environment, into this, so to speak, industrial metaverse environment. In addition to that, what we have also done is we have provided cloud-enabled APIs for developers, which allows them to build their own custom applications or to add capabilities like AI. So we have people who are using Azure AI as well as Azure IoT to connect to XR platform and build other custom applications on top of the base platform. Then what we have done is we have created optimized native XR clients, which are able to load huge 3D models and huge 3D assemblies and be able to visualize them in that particular environment. So when you talk about Oculus Quest, we have a native Oculus Quest app available on the store, or a native iOS app, or a native HoloLens app. Of course, we have then enabled our partners and developers to build use case specific applications, whether it is for design reviews or for connected worker kind of applications. Many of these are built by partners. And I'll be very happy to talk to other folks here who would be interested in evaluating our platform. Lastly, the complete cloud platform is a secure cloud platform that's hosted by AWS, Azure, and for some of our industrial customers, we also do an on-prem deployment, which is capable of streaming data in a very, very smart manner to clients. And then there's a Zoom-like interface that allows any user to simply jump on a call like this from their VR headset or from their AR device. So that sort of allows multiple users to come together inside this industrial metaverse environment for various use cases, whether it's training, whether it's production, whether it's operations. So this is a very, very high level. Yeah, thanks, Alex. I'm just finishing. So this is sort of just high level thoughts around what I think it would take to build an industrial metaverse, and I'll be happy to chat with people if there are any questions. Glad to answer them now or maybe offline, Alex. Sure. Thank you so much, Alex. Enjoy talking to you guys. Take care.
Sorry, there, I was on mute. Okay. All right, great. Hold on a second here. All right, awesome. So simply put, we are building a metaverse that is cloud native, high definition, and DAO driven. So what does this look like? What makes this possible? This is one of our product demos here. You know, as they say every once in a while, revolutionary technology comes along that changes everything. And one of those innovations for us is the power of cloud rendering. At first glance, it might seem like we're doing something, building, you know, a metaverse similar to Sandbox or Second Life, but we believe we are building something even better.
I'm sorry,
And
I have
why
to
do we say
interrupt,
that?
it's really hard to hear you.
Mostly because we are cloud native. All our content is rendered on the cloud, and this allows us to achieve two important fundamental qualities of what we think is a real metaverse, and that is real time and persistent. So we use a proprietary cloud rendering system that can be deployed on either public or private clouds to do all the heavy lifting and stream to users, similar to cloud gaming like Satija. And we solve for two bottlenecks. One, that consumer devices are still unable to render 3D content in real time effectively. And two, virtual 3D asset creation is complex and costly. And
Sarah, nobody can hear you when you've got your PC audio playing.
Oh, sorry, no one can hear that? Okay. Maybe I'll just run through that really, really fast again. You know, so our innovation fundamentally is in cloud rendering. And it might seem at first glance like we're similar to Sandbox and Second Life in some respects, but we believe we're building something even better. Firstly, because we are cloud native. And so all of the content is rendered on the cloud. And this allows us to achieve two important qualities of what we think a real metaverse must have, which is real time and persistent. So we use a proprietary cloud rendering system that can be deployed on either public or private clouds to do all the heavy lifting and stream to users, similar to Google cloud gaming like Google Stadia. But we also solve for two bottlenecks, which is that consumer devices are unable to render 3D content in real time effectively. And secondly, that virtual 3D asset creation is complex and costly. And so it is through this cloud native cloud rendering technology that high definition and ultra realistic graphics can be achieved in real time, including things such as achieving real time ray tracing. We're able to attain 4K 60 hertz on any devices, whether it's an iPhone or a laptop. And because we're cloud native, anyone, anytime around the world can access simply through in-browser. So that's no apps, no downloads. As long as you have internet connection, you can enter Matterverse. And of course, no extra hardware or headsets required. And so today I'm going to talk mostly about the three components of our product and platform. But before that, we just want to touch on the essence of what we're building here at Matterverse, which is centered around two concepts. First, we think is a transcendence of reality. The roots of the word come from transform and to ascend. And we've heard of the concept digital twins and virtual replicas. But we think that if we build just the same things as we do in the real world, it can be a bit boring. And so we want to go beyond and build and create that which is not possible in the real world with its material and physical limits to truly go beyond. And then what is Web3? Here we say, we think it's built in public and defined by the community. So some of our early Web3 community members actually include people that have careers in creative design, architecture, and other design fields in real life. And together we give this growing community and anyone in the Web3 community the tools and ability to build this ever expanding world. And our aim is to combine, in some ways, the best parts of sandboxes and games akin to GTA Online. And what we mean by that is, while Sandbox is one of the best implementations of community-defined and generated content in a Web3 context, it's highly stylized, some might joke Legoland looking still, with very limited gameplay possibilities. And then we have Roblox, which has more gameplay, but the visuals are even rougher. And then GTA Online is an awesome game, but it is just a game where the player has no ownership or agency in the world, and you can't control how you play or what you could experience. And so one of our end goals is inspired by this to have the best of both worlds, a world that feels authentic, plays well, is yours, and incorporates agency and ownership through things such as tokenomics and community-driven DAOs, to determine the functionalities and even the scene and design and more. So we are building an open world defined and created by the Metaverse community. Currently, this is just to start. We have 5 zones with seamless movement and transport, not multiple separate worlds, but a seamless, ever expanding world with land parcels secured and exchanged through NFTs. We have an extremely detailed white paper on tokenomics, which we invite you to have a read if you're interested in something like that. And yeah, diving into, this is kind of how we go about turning concept art into areas under construction. But diving into the first of our 3 components, first we have an avatar creator. So we're aiming to build the highest fidelity and functionality avatar system. And so far we've enabled it into an API SDK cross-platform support, which means not only can you use it on our platform, but it can be used across other platforms. One could even individually create their own unique avatar and mint it into an NFT, not only in 2D, but in 3D, and use it across other platforms and share it, including on social media. We have virtually unlimited customizations, and we're aiming to have an ever-expanding number of parameters so that no 2 avatars are the same. We also have something called the Matter Creator. As we've previously mentioned, we're all about allowing the community to build. And for those that do not use things such as Blender or 3D Maya or don't know how to use them, it's still possible to build and create through drag and drop, and essentially our in-house 3D, what we call a Matter Creator currently. Lastly, we've provided a place to initiate and organize DAOs. For your hobbies, projects, or even for brand partnerships. Many brands are entering this Web3 space, and we're still in the early days, but it's really exciting, and there's a lot more details in our white paper. So some of the use cases for brands are quite self-explanatory. It's a really exciting space. And we also were shortlisted this year for the LVMH Innovation Award after partnering with LVMH Asia on a virtual museum project. And finally, here we have a rough preview of what this could look like, all put together, the 3 components. Now, for extra context, our product team sent this over, and it's a bit goofy, so we like to call it man running late for work and stops for luxury picnic. But what we're trying to really show here and highlight is that the high fidelity details are enabled by cloud rendering. Because it is a cloud native platform, that's how you get the high definition in real time. You can drag and drop, and we have an extensive 3D assets library that we're building up constantly, and integrating AI for PBR textures and the such. And that is pretty much a brief overview of what we're building at Matterverse. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, happy to take them. I can also just check out the chat because I think I have a few minutes left. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. Funny story. So we registered our company name in September 2021. And then about a month later, Facebook came out with the news that it was going to rebrand as Meta. But we had been in the space of virtual and 3D for about a year before that. And the name came from our chief product officer. So the rest of the team just jumped on it and really liked it. That's kind of a coincidence in a way. Right. That's true. It could be a bit misleading. And how do I exit? Okay, let's see. Yes, Web3. Is this similar to Decentraland, a metaverse platform? Right, so Decentraland and Sandbox, they're mostly built on WebGL, whereas we are fully cloud native. That's one of like the key differentiators and differences. There's a couple more, whereas Decentraland is very much entrenched in tokenomics and crypto. And we think that Metaverse doesn't necessarily have to be governed by crypto in such a huge way. There's a lot of other applications, but the biggest difference is WebGL and cloud native. High quality rendering minted as an NFT that can be used. Yeah. Is the platform available yet? Not yet. We are also about 2 months away from launching the open world. How many users? How much does the cloud computing? So cloud computing for brands, that one, if you're really curious, I can follow up with that with our chief product officer. That's more on the cloud end. So is always selling real merchandise also via this platform. So I don't think we can, I think it's still a bit confidential at the moment, but happy to follow up. You're setting up a tribe. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that link, Laura. So someone's going to see. All right, I think that's most of them. Let me know if I'm missing. Yeah, happy to chat or shoot me an email or LinkedIn or anything. We're really excited to be launching the open world. Awesome. Thank you.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic team, New Zealand. Yeah. 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 Is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm CEO of the Globaliz. My name is Vincent Sim, and I'm interested in the MetaCubic platform. And MetaCubic is a digital channel metaverse content solution, which is a smart hybrid store or social metaverse network platform. You can see the logo, and looks like a search engine, something in every content in every city, every building in there, and you can go in anywhere in the MetaCubic platform. This kind of thing is a point to is simply MetaCubic is to set up to localize, personalize the search engine for Metaverse, allowing all worldwide Metaverse objects to be distributed and integrate. Therefore, MetaCubic platform is a mission is to efficiently transform to ecosystem that support to virtual space content while linking to internet and real world information and with the Metaverse virtual space. Something in the weekend we have already the project in Seoul, and you can see the real address, the ENC Dream Building. You can that address ENC Dream Building, Kurogu, Seoul. This is a real address, but by the MetaCubic to slide to internet address. ENC Dream Building is going to encdream.com, and Kurogu and going to allsvalley.com. And also Seoul and allinseoul.net is their hierarchical base to allinseoul.net include allsvalley.com or the encdream.com as well. That kind of building information, the one floor, second floor, third floor information including in there. Also, that building information going to allsvalley.com or the Kurogu, and also that information going to the Seoul as well. It's many things to the content Metaverse that are hardly the connection to the world, the city, and the real world address, but we have a solution. Also, our solution content information through the Metaverse virtual space through the internet domain over the cloud. If a MetaCubic platform over the building domain is offline, information on each floor of a building. For example, resident company, shopping mall is everything in the created by managing the MetaCubic. This automatically show up to parent local domain and city domain as well. You can see this is Seoul Kurogu ENC Dream Building. One of the customer then put the information they showing the Kurogu Metaverse platform and Seoul the domain as well. That Metaverse virtual space can by link to the real world. Real world already there's the ENC Dream building in the building is including information, and also you can see the extension all over the object and can be so many domain to the multiple multi-dimension and relationship internet through the MetaCubic. This is a conceptual the diagram, but you can think about anything. You can make it internet of thing, and can showing to Metaverse only making domain. That's it. And you can see the Metaverse content input their domain and also see their customer mobile phone. They can see the organized to, if you can see like some kind of the product information, see the domain, different domain can, including the hierarchical, the relationship base. Also, metacubic structure is a very the revolution in the already the Web 2.0. Everybody know that, and also some in the maybe you can see the decentralized internet web is like our web, like some kind of A, B, C, D. This is the Kurogu building including in the that pin, and this is YWXZ. This is Gangnam-gu, some in Seoul, and some kind of building you can see the imaging the all over the Seoul, the metaverse connection together. This is a metacubic platform. I will show you demo the this is Auckland platform, and including some information in there. You can see the art gallery. You can see the Auckland gallery in the showing. The information in the Auckland, all over the theater, restaurant, everything, hotel, can showing this Metaverse platform. This is Seoul in the ENC Dream building. This building domain connected digital twin solution and everything connect. I will show you the building domain into the ENC building. This is the ENC building into the one level. You can see the two level in information to the Tsing and the restaurant, and showing to this image can also price and the background as well. That connection to the old Valley, the Grogu, in the building in the ENC Dream Tower, the level 2 as well. See the same information, getting the view map and everything, including information for the Metaverse, the pricing, the background, everything, even the Seoul information showing to Grogu, the ENC Dream 7, the jumping in here, also the view map as the pricing, everything. Also the showing the Oakland information to building the art gallery, and the showing to for Metaverse can going art gallery to view map as well. That information hierarchically, Oakland City has the North Shore City and the Manukau City as well. The Manukau City together the civic theater, and same information the Metaverse as well. See the information you can get. Also the Manukau City, the North Shore City, North Shore City, and that Sky Tower can getting to same information. No, all those building and the same information, Manukau City, and showing to same information together. If we change the Manukau City, then automatically the going through the North Shore City, Oakland City, the changing automatically. That's the information that we can solution. If anything, you can make a Metaverse to input here, and every Oakland, every city can the sharing and the search things. Yeah. If any question to get the yeah. 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 Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Alex.